psychic side here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network, Moonstruck TV, Enlightening TV, and a bunch of other places on the internet. So welcome to our program. I'm your host, John Cappello. It's 5 o'clock on Tuesday here. And I'm broadcasting from Tornado Alley in North Texas. We've had plenty of them, including close to it this morning. We've had a lot of really, really high winds that would have qualified for a zero tornado or a zero, what do they call it, 0 degree tornado or whatever. And so we made it okay. We lost power for a little bit, but we're okay. But you know, if you tuned into our program, you know that I like to talk about psychic stuff and fancy other stuff, you know, things that we like to show you and talk to you about here on the program. And, you know, being a psychic and getting psychic impressions is something that we all do. And a lot of times we get symbols and we don't know what those symbols are about until we investigate it. And a lot of times people will tell me that they don't get empirical information, but they'll get a symbol, like they'll see a number or they'll see some type of object. And one object that people will see a lot is a cross. And a cross is about a lot of things. It's about the ultimate sacrifice, of course, in Christian faith. And it's about a lot of other areas. And one version of a cross is the Maltese cross. And this is a cross that has a lot of history dating back to the 10th century. And it is associated with virtue, great virtue. And you will see this cross has morphed over the many, many years, and it moved from the Middle East to the island of Malta and Rhodes, and it also became very high symbol of courage and like I say, different virtues. And if you can look at the cross over on my right shoulder, you see, it looks kind of familiar because the Knights of the Crusades often wore this type of cross. The Knights of St. John wore this cross. And you can also see that it has 8 points to it. It has 8 points. And now the camera just did a close-up on me, but if you see that there are the 8 points on this particular cross, you'll find out that these 8 points signify different virtues. And I thought it would be a good thing to do because we just celebrated Memorial Day here in the United States, where we celebrated our heroes who have fallen in war, and also our current veterans. And it's just a way of honoring people who have served and people who exhibit a great deal of valor. And we'll get to our first caller here in just a little bit. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to tell you a little bit about this cross if you don't know a lot about it. Of course, once again, it has 8 points. And these 8 points was originally developed by or was chosen by a gentleman by the name of Gerard Sasso. He was a Benedictine brother, okay? And he went to Jerusalem, and he was a person that stayed in Jerusalem even after it had fallen, after it had been under siege. And he exhibited a great deal of courage to take care of sick people and risked his life to be there for others. And he got recognized for that. He later started the Order of St. John's, which is dedicated to St. John the Baptist. But these 8 virtues were known to be, well, they've kind of changed a little bit, but basically they're sympathy, gallantry, perseverance, loyalty, dexterity, explicitness, observation, and tact. And it really gained fame when the Knights of St. John attacked the city of Jerusalem, and they were met with an opponent who threw um, glass containers full of flammable fluid. And the flammable fluid would get on their uniforms and on their skin, and it couldn't be removed. So a lot of people died because of that. But because of their gallantry and because of their steadfastness, they won that battle. And and that didn't go unnoticed by others who later on were people that became firefighters. And if you look at the symbol just below the red cross on my over my shoulder, you'll see that it has become the emblem and logo of fire departments, because fire departments needed a logo which signified their great sacrifice that they make every time they face an opponent that is overwhelming. And of course, the fire can be incredibly overwhelming. And here in North Texas, I was telling you, we just recently had a lot of tornadoes that were just a few miles away from where I live. And a matter of fact, there was a story on the news about how some of them were firefighters who were affected by the tornado, but the gallantry and the people that are in the emergency services came to their aid, just like they always do, just like they would do for us, and just like they do for you in the case of need. And you might see this emblem or a facsimile of it on their uniform because they are exhibiting bravery. So let's go to our first caller, and I believe it's Ginger in Sheffield, Alabama. So Ginger, are you there?
I'm here, yes.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Ginger, have you been crying? Is there a problem that you have been facing, possibly with a man?
Yes.
Okay. Because it just feels like you're kind of at your wit's end. You're not sure where to go. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Do you have a question for me that I can work on? Because it seems to me like you might be considering moving or leaving or making a big change. Is that right?
Me not necessarily moving, but moving on, I guess you could say.
Moving on. Okay.
Completely. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
No
it
contact.
kind of looks like that's what you're going to do. I don't know why I'm seeing kind of a ceremony. I'm seeing that you might, in order to kind of end the relationship or end the situation, you might get rid of some clothes that remind you of him, or you might get rid of some things. I don't know why I'm saying that. Some clothes
Like a
or anything.
funeral?
Almost like a funeral for the relationship. Does that make any sense, or do you ever do that? Some people
Kind
do
of. Kind of to be done like that, I have to have like a funeral in my mind. So yeah, I guess that would probably be what you saw.
that. So you have a funeral in your mind about this relationship. So it just doesn't feel like you really have been treated very well, and that you've been kind of discounted. Maybe your opinion hasn't been listened to.
Right.
I think it just feels like you're tired of that. And we're not always 100% right on everything, and so he's not here to defend himself. But the thing is, it just feels like you're exhausted. There's a sense of exhaustion and fatigue there too. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That's
So,
correct.
what now? Do you have children with him, or are they grown? Your children grown, or what?
My children are 20, 18, and then my niece is 14, but they're not with him. No.
Not with him. Okay. But it just
No.
feels like this can be kind of a clean break. And it's like I said, I feel like you need a little bit of a rest. You need to be able
Hmm.
to kind of clear your mind. and just not have to deal with drama, because it just feels like, you've been trying to bend over backwards trying to please someone that just wouldn't let you please him.
Exactly. Right.
So
Nothing works.
hit the mark. Okay. Well, thank you very much. I hope I was of some service to you today. We're talking about service today and talking about the Maltese cross. And did you know those
Yes.
things about the Maltese cross?
I did not, but I found that very interesting, and I wrote some notes down that I'm going to look up later.
Yeah, look it up. I have a few more things to say about it, but the Maltese cross is very symbolic, and it's something that has survived history and has, like I say, morphed into some other things, other meanings over time,
Right.
and it's just a symbol of high honor. So as a psychic, we want to stay high-minded, and we want to stay virtuous if we can be. So thank you very much
Right.
for your call. We appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, you're welcome. So you might see the Maltese cross on medals, because medals of high honor, especially medals of the highest honor. And if you see over my other shoulder, you might see the picture of King Charles. And what do you see on his chest? You see two prominent um, uh, medals that are renditions of the Maltese cross. Now, each of those medals has different meanings to them, and I don't know them all. I'm not British, but the research that I did do on them quickly, of course, I didn't do. I should have done more. I'm sorry, but they are of the highest order of each of those areas where they were bestowed on him. And actually, he wears three Maltese crosses on him. The other one is higher on his chest, and you can't see it very well in this particular picture. But all of the things that he's wearing, all of the different medals and sash and everything that he wears are all indicative of high honor. And of course, being the king, he has the highest honor. And so, like I said, I wish the picture was a little bit better, but it's something that if you notice the 8 points on that on each of those medals, each of those points stands for a virtue, and of the highest virtues. And so these are things that, of course, as a psychic, we want to try to live up to those standards, and we want to live up to something which is very high-minded. And the thing is that the Maltese cross has been mainly known for protection. And as far as the firefighters are concerned, that protection would be, I will go so far as to lay down my life for you. And that's pretty amazing. Okay. And this is something that's worldwide, something that all five firefighters, whether they be in the Christian world or in the Muslim world, are willing to do, dedicate themselves to protect those who they serve. So it's quite an amazing symbol, and I'll tell you more about it after our next caller. So we have, excuse me, looks like we have Veronica in Ortonville, Michigan. So Veronica, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
How are you today?
Okay. Just got
Okay.
in from our daughter's wedding last night, so
Okay.
I'm a little bit
I was going to say
worn out here.
something about a woman, something about, now was your mother there, or is your mother in spirit, or what?
My mother's in spirit.
Okay. Was this just feels like this was a very exhausting event?
Yes. Yes.
Was there a little bit of drama in this planning and getting this done?
Yes, there
Okay.
was.
Just feels like a little bit. drama.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just feels like, this is a time when you can relax, and maybe you need a Maltese metal
Yeah, I
for
probably
your
do.
courage. For your
Oh
courage.
my. Well, my maiden name actually means courage. My maiden name is Cumming, which is Scottish, and their coat of arms is courage. It's like, yeah.
Oh, very good,
I
very
need
good. So did you know some of the things we're talking about the Maltese cross?
vaguely, vaguely. Yeah.
Vaguely. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's just interesting that there's so many symbols out there that we see on a regular basis. We see the fire department symbol all the time, and yet we don't know what it means. And so
Right.
it's just, that's why I thought it would be something that would be good to be talked about. So how can I help you
Yeah.
today? I feel like we've identified an issue, but are you worried about your relationship with your daughter?
No, that's fine. I mean, some things during the reception, there was a storm that rolled in, and it just didn't. The entrance and the ceremony and everything didn't go the way my daughter had hoped, and so I'm in communication with the venue about the way some things were handled. But no, she's fine. She's just a little remiss that about the way things played out. But she did have my mother's sapphire ring tied into her bouquet. She was very close to my mom, and
That's okay, because there's something about your mom that came to me, and so
yeah,
I was curious about that. Your mother is certainly looking down upon the situation, and is really proud of everything you did, because it just feels like you really went to the mat for your daughter, and you did the best you could to make it a memorable and perfect ceremony. And you had problems with the venue. Is that what you're telling me?
yes, and we had problems with her dress, and I had to take it to another seamstress and have some fine tuning done, and I worked on the dress too after the
Yeah.
fact. But
Oh,
there was just a lot of niggling things.
I know one of your
But I
things. Yeah. Well, it 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 happened. You got over it.
right. I
Yeah.
mean, you can't control Mother Nature, right? It's just
No, you
I
can't
have a
control.
hard time rolling with the punches.
Yeah. I remember when my daughter got married in an outdoor venue. It was a huge venue, and
Yeah,
I paid good money for that venue, and the people, the venue were terrible. They were just terrible, and
yeah.
I couldn't find them when I needed them. And there
Oh
I was. I
dear.
was like a sergeant. I was supposed to be enjoying my daughter's my funeral,
Right,
my wedding,
right,
and
right.
it made it very hard when you have to
Yes.
be in charge. You just can't sit back and enjoy it. And it sounds like that's what happened to you.
Yeah, you have to kind of connect the dots. So I'm doing a little cleanup afterwards because yes, like you say, you pay good money for that venue. And you want it to be 120%. So I mean,
Absolutely.
once they realized the storm was coming in, everything kind of like they were. It didn't fall apart, but they were kind of scrambling a little bit, and so I think they could have orchestrated that a
Yeah.
little better. But
Well,
I've had some. Go
you
ahead.
had some what?
I've had some health issues, and I just sold my mom's house in March, and I was a power of attorney, then executor, so did all that, and then third daughter called off her wedding in April and moved out, and then this daughter, youngest daughter, got married, and
Hmm.
there's just been a lot of family stuff going on, and I wonder what's next
What
for
is your birth
me.
sign? What's your birth sign?
Scorpio.
Scorpio. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, Scorpio is in the midst of a major transformation right now. You're just at the beginning of it. Um,
Yeah,
and so sometimes we don't have control over some of the things that have happened around us. And it just feels like the best advice I can give you is just to work the problems as they come.
Yeah.
But because you're not going to be able to necessarily change the course of things. But now, are you telling me you have a serious health issue?
Yeah, I've been battling some things for a long time. I have thyroid issues. My thyroid's been acting up, and I've got Lyme and food allergies, and I take so many supplements, which gets to be overwhelming when I try to go somewhere. It's like I need to simplify this somehow, but I'm kind
Yeah.
of afraid. Like, how can I find one supplement that has like a couple different things in it instead of taking four different things? You know what I'm saying? So I think because I've been under so much stress for so long that I need
Yeah.
some time to get myself back. But I also have more things I want to do with my life.
It does feel like you do need to take some time to rest and just to
Yeah.
kind of take it easy. I would journal if I were you. I think that journaling might help you a little bit. It might ease some
Okay.
anxiety around you, and
Yes. Yes.
that journaling will be helpful in helping you make a plan for the future. So it's like I say, there's some things that I certainly can't change for you, but
Right.
if
Right.
you decide to journal or maybe even go to a naturopath or go to another doctor, maybe even work on dietary changes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have
I
to
do
take
see
it.
a homeopath. Yeah, I see a
Oh,
homeopath and an osteopath. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So I think you're on the right path. It just takes some time and get and try to release some of this anxiety. So thank you
Yeah.
very much for your call and congratulations
Well,
on your daughter's
thank
wedding.
you.
Okay, all right.
And can you tell me real quick? I mean, my mom was there, but do you get the sense about any other relatives that passed?
Is father also in spirit?
Yes, my father.
Okay,
Yes.
because it feels like
And
he
my
is
husband's parents.
your husband as well. Maybe it's just your husband then, because
My husband's parents, and
your
then
husband's
my
parents. Okay.
parents. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, just this must be your father then. Your father is, he's just telling me that you're always a hard worker. He says that
Yes.
when you put your mind to something, it doesn't matter. You're undeterred,
Yes.
and it doesn't matter how sick you are. You're going to get the job done. So he's
Yeah.
really proud of you, and just wants you to know he sends his love to you. Okay.
All right. Wonderful.
Okay.
Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Don. I appreciate the insight. Have a good day.
You too. Okay. Bye bye.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. So we have a lot that can be said about the Maltese Cross, and if you look at our sponsors logo, you can even see that it has 8 points, and I don't believe it was intentional that it was resembles a Maltese Cross, but it certainly has high meaning to it. So we have lots of things that if you that are around us that might have that symbolic edge to it, or those symbolic meanings of different virtues that are important to us in life. And that's why I hope that you'll look for that, or look for different symbols in your life that are meaningful, because they are signs of different things that can affect you in your daily in the things you do on a daily basis. It doesn't have to be a cross. It can be something else. It can be just virtually anything. It could be even seeing an animal, or noticing something that happens, a song that comes on. Those are symbols, and those are messages from spirit, messages to give you inspiration, messages to give you support. Now, the Maltese Cross is a symbol of protection. And so if you see it, you know that you're being spiritually protected. So it's something that's very special, very highly spiritual, and it's something that is a symbol that has endured many centuries, and it can be used when working with your psychic ability as just one of those symbols that you may recognize in your life. So I like to just bring to attention certain things to my audience that might not have considered in the past, and this is something that I think is a good thing to know about. And if I come across some other symbols, I'll let you know. But there's lots of different crosses out there. Each of them has a special meaning: a Celtic cross, a Greek cross, the different ones. But the Maltese cross is the one that you look for that protection. So I hope that you will continue to watch our program or listen to it here on the A1R Psychic Radio Network, or watch us on Moonstruck TV as I come up with different topics, and watch the way I do my readings. If you are interested in learning how to do that, let me know. You can always purchase my book, Soul Exercises for the Open Mind. And we'd be delighted to have you join us in our classes. We're doing our mediumship classes right now, and we'll be picking those up tonight. But we'll be doing another psychic development course probably in August. So if you want to be watching for it, as I advertise it on my Facebook page, you might do that. And be sure to like my Facebook page. And be sure to go to Miracles of Joy, miraclesofjoy.net. They have a wonderful website. They have 2 locations. I'm going to be doing a lot of work there this month, coming up in June. And so I hope that you'll stop by if you're in the area and join us. So with that, we want to be able to say thank you once again for joining me here on the psychic side. I'm your host, psychic medium John Cappello. I'm from the North Texas area, and I hope to see you or be with you next week. So thanks again. And if you'd like a reading, go to my website, johncappello.com, and sign up for a reading there. So until next week, I'm John Cappello. Bye-bye.